Hello, friends. I, Harman, welcome you to our podcast series, The Thought Exchange. Here, we will be discussing the topics that will help us as a student to find the answers of the questions that we encounter on a daily basis. Communication is a simple task, a cakewalk. We learn to communicate what we want at a very tender age. We are able to communicate even without the use of words. But what you want to communicate and what the other person attained from your wordless sentence is the real question. Communication with close friends, family, and with self is effortless. But at certain moments, while communicating professionally, the act of communication requires every ounce of energy that we have in our body, and yet we unwantedly stumble. Let us understand this unwelcomed guest of a characteristic with a story. This is a story about a student named Anna. Anna, a jolly and spirited soul, was a vibrant character, but her vibrancy was only evident within her friend circle. The spirited soul of Anna would turn into a lifeless, dull statue while communicating professionally. Her voice trembled, her head swirled, and her palms went all sweaty while addressing a prodigy panel in an organization or a group. Sounds familiar? It might, because almost 90% of students face this issue that Anna faces while communicating to a crowd or audience, or just your teacher. To overcome this, to make our internal Anna confident, we have a special guest with us, Miss Nana Malhotra, who will help us to make our internal Anna more vibrant in every phase. Hello, viewers. Ma'am, I once again welcome you and thank you for lending your helpful hand to make the communication easy for students. Starting with the question, ma'am, what do you think the problems are that students face while communicating?
Firstly, thank you so much, Harman, for giving me this opportunity, this platform to address the students unanimously on a common platform. The question that you have asked me right now is a question that I have come across many a times during classes, during my interactive sessions and all, that what is there are n number of challenges the student face while communicating, particularly in the professional world, as you asked. It is because of their exposure, because many of them are not from that kind of background wherein they get this opportunity to communicate in English or professionally in their day-to-day life. Secondly, is there the fear, the nervousness, the anxiety, over dependence on technology these days. So these are certain points which are there, which are actually not helping the students, rather not becoming a hurdle in them communicating in the professional world.
What strategies or techniques would you like to tell the students to overcome the fears or hurdles they face while communicating professionally?
Getting back to the techniques or strategies, as you said, for students to communicate in the professional world, let's take the grassroots level. I would suggest that they should first of all indulge into a habit of reading. That's very important, which the Gen Z generation of yours is lacking, because you may be out of those that are not indulging yourself into reading. So reading perhaps is very, very important. Second, to cut yourself from this over dependency on technology, because at the moment any topic is given to you, any assignment is given you quickly get into these AI tools. So this is actually one of the over dependency. I won't say that you shouldn't use them, but over dependency on these technological tools is the second reason. Then you should have some pals or some friends of yours wherein you should be able to communicate with them, who should be able to give you a constructive feedback. They may be your friends, your mentors, your teachers, your seniors, anyone, any family members for that reason, that can help you, that will definitely help you in overcoming all these hurdles. So these are certain strategies or steps which any newcomer or anyone from your generation must follow these days.
It is often said, find a friend in your teachers if you want to communicate with them properly or without any hurdles. But where should be the line drawn? Maintaining the authenticity of the communication and the formality. So,
See, Harman, this is very important for all the students to know that there is a thin line between a relationship between a teacher and a student. Okay, being friendly is okay because since we are into a modern age education where it is full of edutainment as well, and you have to be friendly with your teachers, of course. But the thin line, as you said, as you mentioned, that thin line has to be taken in mind because whenever we are communicating, whether it is a verbal communication or it is a written communication or any sort of oral communication via emails, letters, or spoken communication, it is very important for you to understand that the person on that side is your teacher. Okay, he's not your friend that you can put on your hand, your shoulder. It is for spoken communication. And when it comes to email, if the moment your the language of your email, your application, and any written communication becomes casual or over friendly, the authenticity is withdrawn. Okay, so it is very important for you, anyone getting into professional world, for keeping these things in mind, that whether it is any form of communication, you need to maintain that line, that professional line, which helps you to communicate in an effective way.
ma'am, you told the students to find friends in their teachers, but personally, I find it very difficult to find friends in teachers due to various reasons, and one of the main reason is the generational gap.
Yes.
And how can I do that?
See, this generation gap is always going to be there because you will never have a teacher from your generation. You may have a mentor, you may have a senior from your generation, but when it comes to having a teacher, it will definitely be one generation ahead at least. So, matching, you don't have to match up with any generation. It's just you have to accommodate yourself to the line and length of that generation. For instance, giving an example to your question, it is very important for you to know that if I'm communicating with my teacher, I have to maintain a particular kind of distance while communicating. That's called proxemics in the professional world. So you have to maintain that proxemics while communicating with your teachers. And when it comes to written communication, suppose you are writing a professional letter to any of your teachers or any of your mentors, so it's very important for you to use the proper kind of salutation, the proper kind of language, the proper kind of words, vocabulary. All these things are very important because the moment as I earlier also said, that the moment you stop using these vocabulary or don't keep these things in mind, what will happen? The authenticity, the casuality will come in the professional communication. And the moment the casualness comes in the professional communication, it no more remains professional. So these are things which are need to be kept in mind, particularly in your generation.
Okay, ma'am, my next question is again related to generational gap. Often, while communicating, students face opposing views from their teachers or any professional setup, and they often go rude to prove their own point. So, how can that be uh, reconciled?
This is also very important, and this is a very common problem. It has not been in your generation when we were students back then. This is something we also faced at that point of time, because what happens that when your teachers or mentors are telling you something, you always feel offended that why this person is correcting me. Okay, there are many students who take it as a constructive feedback, but the majority takes it as an offensive remark. Okay, so this is very important for you to know that whatever your teachers or mentors or any senior of yours is telling you is for your own personal benefit, and this is definitely going to take you on a longer run. Okay, and make you something in life. So it is very important if somebody, but it may happen that the person from that side may at times be very negative, and you may not like the pitch, tone, and volume. You may not like the remarks, and you may personally feel that I'm not doing this, but still I am being targeted or something like that. So it is very important for you to do not take things to heart every time. Okay, you have to understand that if something is being told to you, that is for your own personal benefit. And secondly, it is very important that there will be people in your lifetime who will be there to pull you down. Okay, it's not only from your teachers or mentors or any seniors, but it may be from your colleagues and your friends as well. So people will be there to pull you down, but you have to decide yourself from the inner side that is good for you, take it, and what is not good for you, as you say in Hindi, that ek kaan se suno aur ek kaan se nikal do. That is also very important. You have to learn that.
मैम यू सेड एक आपने बहुत ही अच्छा बताया, एक कान से सुनो एक कान से निकाल दो. बट अगर यही चीजें अगर स्टूडेंट्स जनरली अगेन फिर जनरेशनल गैप आ जाता है, उसमें उनको गलत लगने लग जाती हैं वो चीजें, भले ही वो सही हो, तो फिर वो
जैसे मैंने कहा हरमन, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू डिसाइड व्हाट इज गुड फॉर यू एंड व्हाट इज नॉट गुड फॉर यू. Feeling offended is not the right way. Okay, you can't feel offended, because I told it that I believe that I personally trust that every teacher is there to make any student. Okay, there is no teacher who wants to break a student. Okay, so it is very important for you to know that whatever is being told to you, whatever viewpoint is given to you from that side, okay, so it is for your personal benefit and it will definitely take you on a longer run. So you have to decide that this is good for me, okay, I'll take it, and this is something I'm not okay with, so ignore it. So you at times you have to ignore also, but I personally believe that something which is coming from the side of your teachers or your mentors is definitely to make you or build you as a human being.
And a different question actually. This generation, generally the Gen Z, is very vibrant with their friends.
Okay.
So hashtags and all that. They have a creative ways to tell what they want to tell. But when it comes to a prodigy panel or in a professional institute, they are just they act like a statues. All their vibrance is gone. So what could be the possible reasons for that?
See, because this is for every human being, that whatever we are personally, we cannot be it professionally. Okay, suppose for example, if you take, you might be wearing some floral shirt in your personal life, but when you can't wear it to the office. Why? Because there is certain kind of a decorum or certain kind of guidelines which are there for every world. So you need to know that, so this is my friend zone, so I can be this way here, but this is my office, I have to behave this way here. You cannot behave the same way with your teachers as you behave with your friends. Right. So this you have to learn, and whether it is any generation, you should always know what are the real right kind of proxemics you should maintain, what is the kind of pitch, tone and volume you should maintain, what is the kind of vocabulary that you should maintain. So at times it happens with students that they don't find they find very they are not very comfortable communicating in the professional world or among their classmates or in between their class if question is asked to them. But it is very important for you that these things in the how to behave in a professional world comes gradually. No one is born with a professional trait. You learn them gradually with the passage of time. But it is very important for you to know that there has to be an urge of learning. Okay, if you think that I have to be in this way, okay, and I'll keep behaving in this way, and I don't know, I won't change. So this tendency won't work. You have to change. You have to accommodate things. You have to be very flexible, and you should know what is right, what is wrong, what is personal, what is professional, what is formal, what is informal. This is, everyone must know this.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Herman. Thank you, in fact, for giving me this opportunity wherein I got a chance, an opportunity to address so many Gen Z people out there for these questions which I come across in my day-to-day life as a teacher from my students. Thank you so much, Herman.
Thank you, ma'am. I do believe the students will find this podcast very helpful while they're for their communication cycles. And thank you for finding the time.